A rock amidst the waves, Alcatraz, before the bars. The story of Alcatraz Island begins long before its infamy as a prison. Its history is rich and varied, stretching back to times when it was known by different names and served different purposes. Native Americans knew the island, a lonely rock in the San Francisco Bay, for centuries. They had their own stories and legends about this isolated piece of land. They called it Evil Island, a place of bad spirits. It was a place to be avoided, a place shrouded in mystery and fear. Spanish explorers, arriving in the 1700s, saw it differently. To them it was a strategic point, a potential asset in their explorations and conquests. They saw a strategic location, a place for a lighthouse to guide ships. The treacherous waters of the bay needed a beacon, and Alcatraz was the perfect spot. And so Alcatraz's first purpose was born, a beacon in the fog. The lighthouse stood as a symbol of safety and guidance for sailors navigating the perilous waters. By the mid-1800s, America was a growing power. The nation was expanding westward, and the discovery of gold in California accelerated this growth. The gold rush brought a surge of people and activity to the West Coast. San Francisco transformed from a sleepy town to a bustling port city almost overnight. San Francisco Bay became a vital harbor, and the U.S. Army saw Alcatraz's potential for defense. The island's strategic location made it an ideal spot for a military fort. In 1850, the island was officially claimed by the military. Plans were drawn up to fortify Alcatraz and turn it into a stronghold. Construction began on a fort, designed to protect the burgeoning city. Workers toiled to build the fortifications that would make Alcatraz a formidable defense point. Cannons were installed, aimed outward to defend against enemy ships. These massive guns were a deterrent, a show of strength to any potential invaders. Alcatraz, once a place of spirits and light, was becoming a fortress. Its transformation was a testament to the changing times and the growing importance of the West Coast. Life on the island was harsh. Soldiers stationed there faced numerous challenges, from the isolation to the harsh weather conditions. Soldiers endured strong winds, isolation, and the constant threat of attack. The island's remote location made it a difficult posting, but also a crucial one. The fort never saw combat in its early years. Despite the preparations and the fortifications, no enemy ships ever attacked San Francisco Bay. But it did serve a new purpose, a prison for Confederate sympathizers during the Civil War. The island's isolation made it an ideal place to hold prisoners. This marked a turning point. Alcatraz was no longer just a military fort, it was becoming a place of confinement. Alcatraz, while still a military installation, began its transition from a place of defense to a place of confinement. The island's role was evolving, reflecting the changing needs of the nation. The island's reputation as a place of isolation and control was starting to take root. It was becoming known as a place where people were sent to be forgotten. The early 20th century brought changes to warfare. New technologies and strategies made coastal defense forts like Alcatraz less critical. Large-scale naval battles became less likely, and Alcatraz's role as a coastal defense fort diminished. The island's military importance was waning. The army began to question its usefulness. Discussions were held about the future of Alcatraz and what role, if any, it would play. In 1907, the big guns fell silent. The fort was officially decommissioned, and the cannons were left to rust. The fort was deactivated and Alcatraz was left in limbo, its future uncertain. The island stood empty, a relic of a bygone era. Little did anyone know that its most notorious chapter was about to begin. The island was on the brink of a transformation that would make it infamous worldwide. From fort to prison, the birth of a penitentiary, a transformation that changed history and reshaped the justice system forever.